What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Anybody coming in at this time, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Anybody watching the stream after the stream, thanks so much for taking time out of your day. So today was obviously a little throwaway game. It was to give some of these other guys some light, some shine, stuff like that. And I thought that we got some promise. Again, nothing too crazy to write about today, just because it was a bit of a throwaway game, um, but we got to finally see Walker. He was clearly a little rusty, but I like what I saw from him. I thought he did I thought he had some bright moments. He had some bright spots. He had some just overall, just solid. He gave a solid contribution for a guy that didn't play in training camp, hasn't played in preseason, coming in, hasn't worked with the systems, all of that stuff, to come in and provide what he did. I mean, he was not perfect. He was 4 for 13, 1 for 7 from three, which is a little rough. But gave you 10 points. Gave you what, 2 blocks. He gave you a steal, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, which is good. I mean, it's not, again, nothing crazy to write about. He showed some flashes, stuff like that. But overall was pretty solid. Matt Ryan looked pretty good. He shot 40% from the field, 2 of 8 from three, though. And that's kind of his specialty. That's what he's supposed to be about. Bacon, what I said, yesterday's game, it was like, don't get too high on Bacon. Let's see what he could do with some more time. And he gave you 0 of 5 and 0 points, was a -2. He did give you 6 rebounds and 3 assists. So, I mean, there were some positives there. But, again, no real standout there. Scottie Pippen was okay. I mean, Austin Reeves was okay. Again, no real standouts other than Thomas Bryant. I thought Thomas Bryant had a great game. He gave us 18 points, 5 of 8, 62% shooting. Also gave us, 7 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. And look, some of his plays and just the way that he was moving, I was glad. There's last 2 games he kind of looked a little like clunky out there, but he started off real strong. He was running the court, really just kind of showing what he could look like when the team is ready to go. So I liked what I saw from him. Outside of him, no real standouts. Walker, like I said, he first came back, first real probably playing time or just activity period. Had some bright flashes, had some bright moments, but understandable for a guy that just missed, 2 weeks or whatever. And you saw some of that length, though. He was able to recover pretty well. Some of his finishes, he was able to finish over bigger guys, just because of that 6'10" length, even defensively. He had a couple stout moments, but again, nothing real. This was a throwaway game. This was let's see what the young guys got. Let's see if there's anybody worth trying to throw some a roster spot at. Even you heard the commentator. The commentator even said that Bacon and Ryan are competing for the last roster spot, which I thought was interesting. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to sign either of them. I don't really think that either of them have really shown enough to warrant that. I think the Lakers are better off just leaving that spot open. But who knows? I mean, we still got a couple more games. We're only, halfway there. So we got a couple more games, and we'll kind of see how it all plays out. We have 3 players injured now. Unbelievable. I mean, if you're talking about like the big 3 set today because of that, Toscano-Anderson got like a little contusion. It's preseason. Why not have him in the game? Outside of that, Schroeder comes back this weekend. We got the announcement about Schroeder coming back this weekend, so that's good. But other than that, I mean, who else is there? Troy Brown, I guess. So I guess Troy Brown and Toscano-Anderson. Let's see. What's going on? I appreciate you. How you doing, Hellboy? Appreciate you. Yo, how was your day, bro? It's wonderful. No complaints. Got to watch the Laker game, and then now we're here, and we're gonna break this down. We'll have a fun little conversation, fun little talk, all of that stuff, and yeah, enjoy the day. We need to win, so uh, we need to win some of these. Yeah, I mean, look, it would be nice to get a win or two. Maybe when everyone comes back, we know Schroeder comes back this weekend. So maybe once everyone's back, everyone's healthy, maybe we can rattle off a couple of these wins. Um, but other than that, I mean, it's just again today was a throwaway game. It was a back to back in a preseason. I don't know why the Lakers had a back to back in the preseason to begin with. I don't know why you would have a back to back period in the preseason. But nonetheless, they had a back to back. So like, why are you going to play all these guys? It just doesn't really make any sense. But what's going on, Devin? I appreciate you. What is up? What is up? LeBron did not play this game. Nobody really played. Like pretty much the entire team sat out except for like Austin Reeves, Thomas Bryant, Damian Jones, and I guess Walker, his first appearance, stuff like that. But like Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverly, our big three, all those guys, they all sat. They didn't play. Yeah, LeBron did not play. I already see people on Twitter saying Lakers are 0-9 in preseason last 2 years. Preseason doesn't matter at all today. None of the main guys played except for a couple. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like again. This was a throwaway game. I don't know why they would schedule a back-to-back, just preseason game regardless. Like, what's the point of that? But I just again, it was a throwaway game. Like half of our guys didn't even play today, so I'm not worried about it. We got a full game with the guys that aren't going to be on the roster, so who cares? I don't look too much into it. Walker played today. Anderson got a little contusion, not a big deal. He'll be fine. And Brown's the only one that's really out. But Walker played the game today. Why the Lakers play their summer league for most of the preseason games? What's the point of having a bunch of bench players that we know won't make it in the final roster spot? Playing all preseason games. Well, today it was a back-to-back. Like you're not gonna play your main guys in a back-to-back preseason game. I don't know why they scheduled a back-to-back preseason game. I mean, I guess it's because they were in Vegas, so it just was convenient. But that was just terrible scheduling. Like it's preseason. Like guys aren't trying to kill themselves out there. And then preseasons, you got to remember all these teams. There's a reason all the teams go like 20 players deep. It's not just the Lakers. It's all the teams go 20-plus players deep because they're trying to see if there's any guys that stand out. Are there any guys that are, worth a roster spot? A lot of these teams have to make cuts, so it's like we need to see these guys play to see who there's a cut, things like that. But, yeah, I don't think it's anything, not anything major. Like, why do we give so many minutes to some of the young guys who could barely make it to the G League? That's nonsense. Because that's what Summer League is about. The first like half of Summer League, first 20 minutes or so of Summer League is to work on your play sets, give these guys real burn, all of that stuff, and then you let the guys that are trying to make the roster, the guys that are trying to carve out a spot. It's not just the Lakers. Like every team in the league does it. Like, it's not like go look at the box scores even of all the guys. Like most teams are playing guys, 15 to 20 minutes. Usually the last game or two, you'll see like maybe like a 30-minute game for several guys just to kind of like get you in the game ready going into the season. But outside of that, the first like 5 preseason games are usually just it's about seeing the young guys, seeing what guys are there any that stand out? Are there any that are worthy of like a 2-way deal? Are there any that you need to cut? Is there any that you got to have those guys play? It's not preseason isn't about winning or losing. Like, and if you look at the teams that usually go undefeated in preseason, it's usually the bad teams because they have all the good young talent 20 deep. Like where the good teams, they don't care about preseason. Like there's a reason that most of the time the good teams usually lose a majority of the preseason games. Like last year, you saw the Kings. The Kings ended up going undefeated last season. And what did they do last season? Like wins and losses mean nothing in the preseason. It's what does your core guys look like? Allow them to get some burn, allow them to get some run, stuff like that. What happened in the first? You mean that's just the first quarter? I mean, we started off decent. They didn't. I mean, they looked really bad. And then they picked it up in the second and looked really good. Good day, man. Lakers game frustrating. The bench was really done. No, I mean, look, we only played like 3 guys or 4 guys that are actually going to be like rotation guys, So like this was a throwaway game. This was a back-to-back in preseason. Why would you do a back-to-back in the preseason? Makes no sense. But nonetheless, they decided to give you a back-to-back in the preseason, and we ended up playing the young guys. We took it as an opportunity to see what could these young guys do, see if any of them stood out, see if any of them are worthy of a roster spot, things like that, maybe a 2-way deal, stuff along those lines. Who played? I mean, pretty much just the young guys. You had Matt Ryan got some run today, Huff, obviously Pippen, guys like that. Outside of like guys that are actually beyond the team and the rotation, you got to see Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant looked really good this game. He was the real standout of this game. We finally got to see Walker. Walker, he looked like a guy that hasn't been there, that hasn't played in 2 weeks, that didn't get to do training camp and didn't get to, actually play, any preseason games up to this point or basketball period. So, he had his good moments. He had his bad moments. It was a little up and down for the most part, but nothing too major. Well, great. Juan is out for 4 to 6 weeks. This is Lakers team curse. Really? Did they already make an announcement? I don't know. I haven't seen anything about that. I don't know why he'd be out 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how bad the contusion is. Who stood out? Yeah, again, Thomas Bryant, definitely. Outside of that, no one to really write about. I mean, Walker showed some flashes for sure. He had a couple pretty nice moments and showed like just his potential and potential ability, but nothing really to write about, nothing really major. I checked on Google and it's like quad contusion, take 4 to 6 weeks. I hope it's not that serious. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. You know what I mean? It depends on how bad it is. Again, it's preseason, so is it just a safety measure, just for precaution, or is it really like a serious like contusion, something like that? I mean, I'm sure we'll find out more the next day or so. The game will be more exciting when the regular season starts. Absolutely. That was the most boring game I've ever watched. It was. But look, again, it was a throwaway game. You're coming off of a back-to-back in preseason. Like, well, why would you start your guys? Why would you play all these guys? It's just, it makes no sense to do that. So I completely understand the Lakers doing what they did, setting all the main guys aside, letting some guys get some run, kind of seeing what they got. Again, nobody, no real standouts, nothing like that. But it was the game that you expected. Lies. Coach M said that he'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, it very well could just be more of a precautionary thing. Very likely is just something that's. But I mean, like we'll find out more tomorrow. That's why I was saying, like, I don't think we'd get anything for another day or so. Severity, stuff like that is important. Depending on how bad it is, could dictate what we see. People are goofy. People are people. What are you gonna do? Austin Reeves. I mean, he didn't have like a terrible game, but it wasn't anything like worth writing about. I mean, shooting wise, he was terrible, but I mean, he did have like 8 rebounds, 3 assists. But again, he wasn't. He works really well with like the rotation guy, like the main guys, like him and LeBron, him and AD, like him and like when he's around like other solid, smart IQ players, he's really good and he really shines. But him, we see it. I mean, even the first game when he was running with all of like the rookies and stuff, he doesn't look very good. He needs good players around him to kind of amplify his play style, his play set. Again, he works really well off of LeBron, stuff like that. So he'll be fine. Not worried about it. See, Austin Reeves is a player that thrives with great players. Yeah, exactly. He needs other talent around him. You see it. Like he needs guys that understand. Like, okay, I need to be in this spot. Because even in some of his passes, like he'll throw the pass ahead because he knows that's where you're supposed to be, and a lot of times guys aren't ready. Stuff like that, or he's trying to get you on the outside pass. It's just he's trying to make the high IQ play, but that takes time. Not everyone has that. Everyone's got to kind of work their way into it, so to speak. Stuff like that. But yeah, like I'm not worried about Austin Reeves. Like we know what he can do when he's around Anthony Davis, Westbrook, LeBron, things like that. He will be fine. He will be great. Thomas Bryant was the only standout today. Thomas Bryant looked great. He gave us 18 points. Gave us a couple of rebounds. How many rebounds did he give us? Let's see. It was so he gave us 18 and 7, had a block, a steal, and assist. But he looked good. Like that was the thing, because like up until this game, he looked a little clunky out there. And I just kind of wrote it off as like he's coming off of a real, serious injury last season. So it makes sense that, it might take him a little while to kind of get his legs under him. It might take a little while for him to kind of get back into the swing and flow with things. And I don't know. I guess that's not the case. I mean, he looked good. He didn't knock down threes, which is what the Lakers want to see. Both Damian Jones and Thomas Bryant have really struggled shooting the three ball so far in the preseason. But again, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But it's not a big deal there. He had a very solid game. I really liked what I saw from him. Yeah, again, he was 0-2 from the three, but it's okay. Evening, I fell asleep. Did we lose again? Jedi, what's going on, Jedi? Yeah, but we didn't play any of our guys. Everybody, it was the night off. It was a throwaway game. Again, I don't know why. I mean, obviously, it's obvious that because they were all in Vegas, so why not squeeze a game there? But why would you do a back-to-back? You might as well just have them there another day and then done it that way if you really wanted to get another game in Vegas. But for whatever reason, they decided it was a good idea to have a back-to-back in the preseason. Like what team is going to really play their guys on a back-to-back in a race, especially like the older guys like Pat Bev, Davis, LeBron, stuff like that, like Westbrook. Like, why would you play those guys, period? Would it have been nice to see them? Yeah, sure. But it's not worth it. It's preseason. This isn't a back-to-back in the regular season. What else? What else? Austin Reeves is a really good role player. He can lead a team with him being the best player on the floor. He won't flourish in that role knowing his game. Yeah, I mean, look, he's never going to be a superstar or like a star or anything. He is who he is. He's a very good role player that thrives very well with other good players. He's a glue guy. He's a guy that that teams need. You need that hustler. You need that guy that just has a high IQ that isn't going to make the bad play, play after play. A guy that works well with your stars, stuff like that. And that's what Reeves is. And that's what you want to see from Reeves. You want a guy like that can kind of, play off of your stars, be solid when he needs to be, even run the offense at time to times, initiate. If he's got a rebound, he doesn't have to rely on, let me go find, where's Westbrook? Where's this? No, he could just from the board, get up the court, initiate the offense, stuff like that. Like that's good. That's what you want to see from a player like that, just a role player, period. Davis is not one of the older guys. He's still in his 20s. I mean, he's 29. Doesn't he turn 30 this year? Or in the offseason, something like that. So, I mean, in NBA standards, he's like getting older. He's not, 23 anymore. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth the risk of putting him in a game. Same thing with LeBron, Westbrook, Patrick Beverly, even Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn's coming off of an injury last season, missing the season from injury. It's preseason. We don't need to have anything like that. It's silly. I mean, I'm a real Laker fan. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, no. Like I said, they literally didn't play anyone. None of the starters played. Nothing. It was all the rookies, pretty much the whole game, and then all the guys that are gonna do that. 80s, 20, 30, not 20. Yeah, with injury problem. Yeah, we need healthy team. Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters this season but a healthy Laker team. Like, again, a back-to-back in preseason shouldn't even have been scheduled, but it was. So Lakers had to do accordingly, which is you don't play your starters at a back-to-back preseason game. You don't play the main guys that you're relying on to actually be, a focal point in the season. That's not what you're relying on. Not saying PJ Tucker and Austin Reeves are similar, but PJ Tucker, as the best player with a bunch of G League players, won't be good if he's around guys like Giannis Harden. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's a glue guy. He's a guy that you have all your pieces in line. You need that fifth guy. Boom, here's Austin Reeves. He's gonna make the right plays. Smart player. He's not gonna try to. He knows his role. He knows what he's supposed to do. He knows what he needs to do. Works well with the stars. All of that stuff. Like, that's Austin Reeves. And you need players like that on your team. You need players like that can really help you through a season and to win a championship and stuff like that. Things along those lines. Like, that's what's important. That's what's important. Come on, man. You can't ask questions like this if you didn't actually watch the game. How are you going to ask how if you did? I mean, at least look at the box score, and just see what happened. Not the score, look at the box score, and and actually see who played, stuff like that. Again, it was a back-to-back in preseason. Why in the world would anybody play their starters, play their main guys in a back-to-back type situation? Like, even like the other rotation guys, like Winnin only played 11 minutes. As great as Thomas Bryant was the one that played the most. He played 25. I mean, not the most out of everybody, but played the most out of like our rotation guys. He played 25 minutes, but that's because he was just, tired. That's because he was playing so well. And then, other than that, everybody else played, about 15, 20 minutes, other than like the rookies and stuff. Stuff like that. So it's all good. What else? Assuming you're asking me, do I think that we are a playoff team? I do. Absolutely. I think we're a playoff team. Look, they even said it on the announcement, and the announcer said it. There are 4 teams in the West that are purposely trying to tank. So that means worst case, you're at least a play-in team. At worst case, you're a play-in team. But I think they're a lock playoff team. I don't think they're gonna. Assuming everyone's healthy. If everyone's healthy, I don't think that we'll have any issues in that regard. GTA injured. Yeah, he had a leg contusion. Sorry, I'm tired. Been a long day. But yeah, he had a leg contusion. We'll find out more tomorrow, how serious it was, stuff like that. But took him in for precautionary stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how bad it was because he was able to wait to get subbed. Where if it was really bad, he's bleeding and stuff, they would have taken him out the game. any positives and negatives you took away from the game? Yeah, so I mean, like I said, we finally saw the emergence of Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant looked great. He was like the main positive. Walker showed some real flashes. I mean, he looked like a guy that hasn't played in 2 weeks. So he's a little raw, wasn't the greatest, but he did have a couple really nice plays on both sides of the ball, things like that. So yeah, overall, I like those would probably be my biggest takeaways, my biggest positives. Negatives, it's hard to really come away with any negatives just because none of our guys really played. I guess negatives would be like free throw shooting and our bigs knocking down threes. Like they haven't really shown that capability of knocking down the three ball, especially Thomas Bryant, he's known for being a 3 point guy. He had a couple. He had one that rattled in and out because I think he only took like two. But he had one that rattled in and out. One was a pretty bad miss, stuff like that. Damian Jones continues to not really be able to shoot threes. I don't know how well that's going to work, but Darvin Ham believes that he can. So we'll kind of see about that. But, it's hard to really say what negatives happened when we didn't really get our guys. We didn't really get to see any of the main components. Like even when Gabriel, I mean, Gabriel had a couple good moments, but he only played 11 minutes, stuff like that. So, yeah. But yeah, I would say the two like positives were Thomas Bryant for sure, and then Walker. Again, he showed a couple nice flashes, but nothing nothing major. Um, are we top heavy? I don't think so. I mean, most teams are top heavy, but I think we're pretty deep because you got to understand, like, so we have just right off the top of my head, we got you got Westbrook, Beverly, LeBron, Davis, and Jones, right? That's just off the top of my head. I'm not saying that they're going to start or anything like that. Just you have those five. Then you have Schroeder, Nunn, Walker, Reeves. Who am I missing? Thomas Bryant, or no, I already said Thomas Bryant. So Damian Jones. You have Winning Gabriel still. I mean, so right there, there's 11. We're literally 10 to 11 guys deep that could all play at minimum. Troy Brown, he could be another factor. Toscano-Anderson, there's 13 right there. I don't think we're top heavy at all. I don't think we are. I mean, as far as like just pure talent, yeah, like star level talent, sure. But I think our bench matches up pretty good against most benches in the league. Um, I don't think we're really going to have a problem, but we got to see everybody play. We got to see everybody involved, that kind of thing. Um, hey, Tyler, do you think Austin Reeves has a future on this roster? Can he be a player like he was for the Lakers in the future? I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I'm assuming you mean like as like in just like a glue guy, role guy, like solid key contributor. Yeah, I do. I think Austin Reeves really. I was talking about it earlier. Like he's he's a guy that every team needs. A guy that meshes well with the starters. Guy that high IQ isn't gonna do too much. He understands his role. He knows what his job. He knows what his assignment is. He's not going to get too carried away. He's not going to try to do too much. He's not going to try to, be a hero, anything like that. You need guys like that. Like most of the Lakers championships had a guy like that, that understood this is my assignment. This is what I'm supposed to do. Let me do that. Sorry, again, long night, tired, ready to go sleep. Do you think if hopefully LA wins the championship, LeBron will be a unanimous MVP again like 2020, or will AD get a couple votes? I would like to see AD win the title. If LeBron plays half decent in the finals, I think they give it to LeBron. Unless Anthony Davis is just a monster to the point where like you can't, like he's undeniable, you have to give it to him. But I think if it's even remotely close, like let's say Davis averages 30 and LeBron averages 25. If LeBron gives you, and say Davis gives you, 10 rebounds and like 2 assists with like 2 blocks, right? Great performance in the playoffs. Great stat line for anybody in the playoffs. But if LeBron's like 25, 6 and 6, he'll get the finals MVP. Just because it's LeBron James and they'll want to give it to him for his legacy and stuff like that. It's just how it is. Is it true AD is out 6 to 8 weeks? What? I don't know where you heard that from. No, I mean, even Darvin Ham talked about it earlier. Like, AD's fine. AD's good. Too many guards. What if our wings injured? I think we need more wings or big men. We definitely don't need big men. I mean, look, we could use a big, solid wing regardless. Problem is, there aren't really any out there, especially that are 3 and D. You can kind of get one that's a shooter or one that's a defender. I personally would rather go with the defender than the shooter because if you get a guy that can even just shoot respectable and play solid defense, I'd rather have that than a guy that can light it up and can't play a lick of defense. Is my concern. But I mean, we have a lot of like wing guys. You know, you got Toscano-Anderson, Troy Brown, Whitney Gabriel's got size to play on the wing if you need him to. You still have Austin Reeves. Depending on the matchup, you could probably run Patrick Beverly, stuff like that. You still have LeBron James. So, I mean, you got like 7 guys that could play and operate on the wing. Even Schroeder has like a 6'8" wingspan, so he could guard some of the wings in the NBA. You don't want to rely on it too heavily, but defense by committee. What else? Our bench, nothing. No, I like our bench. The problem is that like we just didn't play anybody. Not at least today. Lonnie Walker looking trash and shooting. Look, the dude just got back. Like you gotta put things in perspective. You know what I mean? Like it's his first game back. He hasn't played. Probably hasn't even picked up a basketball in 2 weeks. Coming in, he had some bright spots. He had some moments, stuff like that. I like what I saw from him. I don't want to judge him on the first game back, right? I mean, you see stars have bad games like this, but he did show some nice moments. Him being able to create his own shot, get to the basket, get to the hoop. You saw his length be utilized a couple times. He had a nice take on 2 occasions where he was able to just outreach the guy. That's really good. And then on top of that, you had just a couple defensive plays where you were able to see his length again. So I think that was a positive as well. Again, I don't want to judge him too much. It's the first game back, and you never know how he's going to look as he starts getting his legs under him. But Fork Notes, thank you so much for the super chat. Coming in hot with the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you're a Laker fan, get the likes up. Yes, please, please, please. And subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I am 4 subscribers away from 4650. I'm sure there are 4 of you watching right now that are not subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. If you could subscribe, really appreciate if you could like this video. It really does. It really helps a lot. You have no idea how much it helps small creators like myself to do that. So we got 21 likes. We got 56 people. Can we get to 50 likes? And I'm sure there's 4 people that are not subscribed. Now I need 3. One of you subscribe. I'm sure there's 3 more of you that aren't subscribed. I'd really appreciate you if you could subscribe, like the video, help me grow this channel. I'm very thankful for that. And the Fork Notes, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the super chat. You didn't have to do that. That was very kind of you. Again, thank you. What else? Let me see where I was at. Here we go. Is Draymond Green a realistic possibility? Imagine Pat Bev and Draymond on the same team with guys like LeBron and AD. Good luck to everyone else. I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I made a video on this channel about it just because of what Stephen A. Smith said. But like I even said in the video, I don't think this is gonna happen. It's more of just like a fun idea. Like, what would happen if this was to happen? So but I mean, you never know. Never say never. I don't think. I think if he gets traded, then there that goes. Because whatever team trades for him, he's probably going to stay with. And I don't think they're going to waive him. So if he becomes a free agent, then he probably goes to a team like Detroit or something like that. Because they would probably pay him the money. Because no contender is going to give him a max contract. So if he it'd come down, does he want to try to win more championships, or does he want to get that paycheck. I mean, hey, it depends on how much the volume is paying him, right? How much is he making for his podcast? To where maybe he can, maybe he could do something along those lines. But I just, I don't see. I don't think Green's gonna leave anytime soon. At least not this season. And if they do, they would trade him before anything else. It's just how it is. Lonnie Walker is not a guy. He needs more practice. Yeah, I mean, look, he's got everything takes time, right? It's his first game back. Draymond to the Lakers. Hey, look, I wouldn't be against it. I like I said, I don't think it happens, but it's something else. What else? No, Draymond's gonna smack LeBron and get his fifth ring. We'll see. See about that. Tyler, can you tell Jimmy Butler I said hi? I will. I'll let him know in tomorrow's game. Like a sidekick, maybe a dead eye first. I mean, yeah. I mean, look. I mean, look. He's young. He's gonna grow. He's gonna improve. He's gonna continue to get better. I really like how he looks. Obviously, next to LeBron, but our main guys, which is nice. I really like to see that, and I'd like to see that continue. But I don't want to put too much on him. Like I said, he's a solid glue guy, he's a solid rotation guy. He's a guy that can really make an impact. But he's not a guy that's gonna take over. He's a role guy, and I don't see him ever being more than that. I think he's always just gonna kind of be a role guy. Lakers were undefeated in the first half until today. That is very true. That's very true. But also today we didn't play anybody. We need consistency. We need consistently I'm assuming you mean consistency. Yeah, we need consistency every game. Absolutely. And we've gotten that from the main guys, which is good. Like Francisco said, we were undefeated in the first half until today. Hey, look, Francis, we were undefeated in the first quarter still. So that's something. But yeah, again, I'm not worried about a game where we started all of our young guys. Like that's not a game this was a throwaway game. Davis is not out for 6 to 8 weeks. Darvin Ham talked about this earlier. I don't know where Angel got that from, but he's not out 6 to 8 weeks. He was sitting on the bench, headed out, laughing, having a good time. And Darvin Ham even said earlier that, hey, he's fine. That's going to hurt the Lakers. He's not. I'm telling you. It's just preseason. Yeah, it is just preseason. And look, it's a preseason game that we didn't play anybody. I don't know why they decided to have a back-to-back and preseason. Why would you do that? What was the point of that? But for whatever reason, they decided to do that. Have a good night. Thanks for the late night stream. No problem. I appreciate you, Mimi. Yeah, I'm a little tired, a little rough. I still got to do my breakdown video. So I'll probably wrap it up at the hour mark. So we got about 20 more minutes. We'll power through this. Try to get some sleep. But what else? I didn't like the Scottie Pippen guy. This guy sucks. I mean, I don't think he sucks. I think he's young. He's he's got to learn. He's got to learn to let the game come to him. That's the problem. He doesn't really. He's not really good at letting the game come to him, which a lot of young point guards aren't. We'll average 76 claps. What else? What exactly happened? Green is being traded? No. It's nothing like that. So him and Jordan Poole got in a physical altercation. Draymond took a swing at him, I guess. And so there's a lot of drama going on. There was a report that basically Jordan Poole, that players have said that since Jordan Poole, won a championship and knows he's getting paid, that he's kind of been a little, big-headed. And because of that, Draymond was kind of trying to put him in his place. Although the Warriors did say that's not true, but I mean, the report probably came from somewhere, unless they just made it up, which I don't think they would just make it up, but you never know. Nonetheless, it's not like that. It's just Stephen A. Smith said, hey, why don't you just opt out, sign a 1+1 with the Lakers, that kind of thing. So that's all it was. But the Xbox Junkie coming in hot with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you. Walker looked good. Can't wait for Dennis and Brown to join as well. We might be a formidable team with our team full. I think we will be. Look, again, like I was saying earlier, is that like Walker, he had some really great moments, some really great flashes. I really liked what I saw from him. Now, again, he looked like a guy that hasn't played in 2 weeks. He's got to work on his shot. He's got to get back into the flow of the game and just everything in general. But I do believe he'll be fine. He showed that he could go get his own shot. He looked like he could play some solid defense. That 6'10" wingspan and length clearly helps him a lot. That's hugely beneficial for him because you even saw a couple nice finishes that he was able to make just solely on his length, which is huge. And then just him just being able to get to the basket, things like that. So I really like what I saw from him. Dennis is supposed to be here this weekend, which is good. So maybe we'll see him relatively soon when he gets back. And then Brown, I can't wait to see Brown either. I was mentioning it earlier. We are at least 11 to 13 players deep, at least. So I like what we're seeing. I like the team we have. I really think that we have a really solid core intact. And I think we could, if everything goes right, health is good, stuff like that, I really think this team could make some noise. And I really think this team could win games without LeBron and Anthony Davis, which is good. You could not say that about the team last season. They couldn't even really win with them. So this looks like a team that really could get a couple games. Now, obviously, you don't want LeBron and Davis missing a bunch of time. But if, say they miss a game or two on a back-to-back or something like that, usually that's an automatic L in the L column. But now I actually think that we could actually win some of those games, if not all of them. So, yeah, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you. God. What else? Zero Dark 23. It's time to go. It's time. LeBron last year, I expect a hungry Anthony. I do too. Hey, look, he's talked a big game. We need to see them. We need to see him bring it out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If the Lakers go 500 through the first 10 games, do the Lakers make a trade? I don't think so. Not 10 games. I think they give this at least, like a quarter of the season. I think we get at least 20 to 25 games before the Lakers start making a drastic change. You know what I mean? Because look, we have arguably the toughest start in the entire league. You're playing arguably the two best teams back to back, and the Warriors and the Clippers. So I think that'll be a good sort of indicator where we were at. Even if we lose those games, like how did we lose? Did we just look terrible and they just smacked us, or was it a hard fought game and it just kind of got away from us at the end? Did Steph knock down a game winner or something? Was it a key turnover that you could sew up? Stuff like that. I think it just depends. But I think we at least get probably about a 20 game sample size before the Lakers start making any like drastic changes or anything like that. Tyler, what's the Lakers' biggest weakness? Also, do you think anything less than a championship is a disappointment? Absolutely, it's the Lakers. Anytime unless we're just, a complete dismal team, then yeah. This team, I think, has enough talent to win a championship. So, you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. It's championship or bust, But I think our biggest weakness is probably going to be wing defense. I know a lot of people feel like, 3-point shooting and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to have a problem scoring. And if we can be a top 5 to 7 defense, I think we'll be fine. It's just I worry about that wing depth as far as like just a sizable defensive wing. For when we're playing like a Clippers team or we're playing the Brooklyn Nets or something like that, where you know, yeah, you could kind of wear them down by committee, but I would like if we just had like a solid wing. Like, and it doesn't even have to be like because there's not really a ton of 3 and D guys out there. It's kind of one or the other. So if we could get like even if it's like a Mo Harkless, a guy with size that can play some bully ball, that can guard bigger wings, stuff like that, I would feel more comfortable personally. That would probably be my biggest takeaway. Um, First game predictions. I actually think the Lakers are going to beat the Warriors, and that's just on history across all sports. So like if you look up the percentage of teams at home when they get their rings, uh, it's like 90% that team loses. A great example were the Rams. The Rams got smacked by the Bills at home the night that they got their rings. It happens to pretty much every team because you're coming off of that, championship hangover, stuff like that. And you're going and getting your rings, you're emotional, you're excited, it's a great moment, and then the other team just uses that as motivation. They just want to smack you in the mouth. So I think that the Lakers win the first game against the Warriors, and then the Clipper game I think is going to be a real test. I think the Clipper game is more important to win than the Warrior game, but nonetheless, I think the Lakers end up winning that first game against the Warriors. Not just that, I think it'll be more important to the Lakers than it will be the Warriors. Like if the Warriors lose that game, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to think anything. It's going to be okay. So I think that the Lakers hopefully come out with some real, real gust. Lakers in 5, facts. Pippen has no vision. He's young. Everything takes time. Not everyone could just be Chris Paul the first year in the league. Everyone takes time. Dennis won't change anything. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. What team scares you in a 7-game series? The only teams I'm really worried about in the West. Well, let's start with the West. The only teams that I'm really worried about are the Clippers and the Warriors. I think we match up pretty well against them. I just think they have more overall talent. And like the Warriors are just the Warriors. So those are the only 2 teams that really concern me in a 7-game series. The Bucks, I think that they're, you got arguably the best, if not the best player in the world. So that's always a advantage, and just everyone else that they have and stuff like that. I probably those 3 teams. Nobody else really concerns me like to that level. I think we match up pretty well against everyone else. Toscano, yeah, I mean that was rough, but he'll be all right. It'll be okay. Plays like he just had a Red Bull. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier, is that like he doesn't let the game come to him. He's just young. That's what it is. He's just young. That's all it is. Stay up, bro. I feel it. Thank you. I know we're drinking an energy drink. Like I said, we'll go finish this, round out the hour, and then go record my post game breakdown that I always do, and then we'll move on to tomorrow. I mean, he's not. What is going on here? This thing like froze. There you go. Dane was Pippen that bad? He wasn't that bad. He just, again, he's a young rookie that makes too much. That just makes mistakes. That's all it is. Pippen ain't easy. That's a good one. Can we beat the Clippers? I believe so. I really do. I believe we can. I believe we match up pretty well against them. But we'll see. I mean, we'll find out second game of the season. Now, granted, to be fair, I don't want to overreact. Whether we win or lose that game, I don't want to really overreact. Now, if we win both of those games, I'll be excited. Don't get me wrong. But, once my fangirling gets away and, I let that out in perspective, Lakers are going to take time to chill regardless. They got to figure it out. It's not going to be a perfect, just model out there immediately. There's going to be some good days. There's going to be some bad days. There's going to be some wins that maybe people thought we shouldn't have won. There may be some losses that people thought we shouldn't have lost, stuff like that. But that's just all part of the 82 game season and being a new team that has to figure out how to gel, stuff like that. We'll see. Max Christie is developing into a serviceable ring. I agree. Like I said, his defense is NBA ready. He is great defensively. He's really good. He's got great recovery. Reads it really well. It's just a shot. He's just got to work on a shot. But that'll come. That comes with just time and, working on it. I think he could be a really nice piece for this team. I really do. Pippen was bad for 3 straight quarters, and Cole Swider was my expectations, but he just effed up his opportunity. Yeah, I mean, Swider looks terrible. And I was saying this the other day. I was saying, he's not NBA ready. I mean, even if you just watched the first game, he was not NBA ready, and what I was trying to relay is that, Swider, he's a great shooter. There's a reason he went undrafted when he's arguably the best shooter in the entire draft. It's because he doesn't offer anything else. He's lost at times. He's not very great at just anything else other than shooting right now. Now he could get better. I mean, he's young. He's going to grow. He's going to improve. He's going to, get better. But just right now, it's just if his shot isn't falling, he's unplayable. Max Christie is going to be working at a service. Max Christie is fine. He's a 19-year-old kid that was just drafted and already is a better defender than most players in the league. Remember last year, y'all was saying it's just preseason. There's a big difference between this year and last year. If you actually watched games, you would probably notice the difference. Right. God. Also, congrats on the $120 million contract. Let me get $1, right? If only, man, I would love that. I'd take a quarter of that. I'd take $1 million. The purple and fold. I hate this deja vu start. They're fine. Lord Beerus. Go back with Weiss. It'll be a good day. It'll be okay. They're complacent, losing, trying to build the second and third string. We know our top guys are capable. Not the time to be complacent. Look, it was a back-to-back. Again, it was a back-to-back in preseason. Why would you play your guys in a back-to-back? Why would they even schedule a back-to-back game in the preseason? It makes no sense. I don't blame them for sitting those guys. And that's what preseason is about. I mean, it's not just the Lakers. Every team does it. Every team's going 20 players deep because they're trying to figure out, is there anybody worth playing? You get your guys out there, you give them some burn, you get them some run. Okay, great. And then after that, it's what, some teams have to make cuts still. So it's like, which players are we going to cut? Some teams are, like the Lakers, where they have a roster spot. And it's like, are any of these guys worth that roster spot? This, that, and the other. That's just how it works. That's what preseason's always been. It's always been that way. I mean, go look at any team. They're all doing the same thing. Guys, please like the stream. Yes, please. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, please. It really helps me out. Trying to grow this channel, trying to grow the audience, stuff like that. We're at 4649. Can I get 6 subscribers? Can I get to 4655? That'd be awesome. And there's 83 of you in the stream. I'm sure there's 6 of you that aren't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. And don't just assume somebody else will do it. You do it. I'm talking to you. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for good luck for the Lakers year. Good luck for the Lakers year. Every like is a win, or every subscriber is another win. There we go. That's what it is. So every subscriber and every like will give us another win. So boom. If you want us to go 82-0, I need 82 subscribers. Let's do it. Purple and fold. Yeah, I know that. I actually thought that was pretty clever. Bron, Russ, and AD laughing on the bench like a scene from Goodfellas. Kobe would not be laughing preseason or not. Bad example for team leaders. Look, I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. Kobe would never go 0-6 in preseason. Yeah, he wouldn't, but he'd also break. He'd break his hand if it meant winning a game. I'm okay with this. Tyler's so nice. Subscribe and left a like. Well, thank you, Jojo. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate everyone handing out, just having these talks, having these funs. Whether we agree, disagree, it's all just good fun, right? Bye, Tyler and everyone. It's 127 here in Quebec, Canada. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Lee Lyon, thank you so much for popping in on a late time. I get it. Glad you were able to catch the stream. I really do appreciate it. Didn't the Bucks win last year? No, I mean, the year previous, yeah. I actually think the Bucks might have went back to back if Middleton didn't get hurt. I really think if Middleton didn't get hurt, I think they beat the Celtics, and then I think they beat Miami, and then I think they matched up so much better against the Warriors. But yeah. How did we look? I mean, look, we didn't play. It's hard to really judge because we didn't play anybody this game because it was a back-to-back in preseason. So kind of hard to judge anybody. I will say real standout was Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant actually kind of showed up, which is good. He looked a little kind of wonky there first two games. I kind of attributed that to just he's coming off of a real injury. He's got to get his legs back under him, kind of get back into being in-game ready. But he looked game ready today. He was great. He was our leading scorer, gave us 18 points, gave us like 6 or 7 rebounds, gave us a block, an assist, a steal, stuff like that. He looked good. He looked good out there. Walker had some nice bright spots. I mean, he looked like a guy that hasn't played in 2 weeks, coming off of an injury, but he looked good out there. He looked smooth. He had a couple nice plays on both sides of the ball. I liked that promise from those guys. Matt McClellan is way better than Pippen, and that's not saying much. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Warrior, that dude, the problem is he's just too small, and he's just too one-dimensional. And that's the problem. I mean, even the Warriors waived him. If the Lakers attack the Clippers from the center position, A.D. Jones, Bryant, we could exploit their weakness. Yeah, I've been saying that. Like, they don't have, outside of, Zoo, like, they don't have any bigs. Like, they're small. They're a small team. I mean, they got a couple rookies, but, like, you're really going to rely on them to handle the workload, especially against guys, like the bigger teams like us or like the Timberwolves, stuff like that. I think they would likely struggle against the Timberwolves, because who guards Gobert and Towns? Like, I think that's going to be their biggest weakness. The Clippers is like the bigger teams. If Russ plays good in a game, does he take most of the minutes at the point guard? If so, who's not playing? Nunn, Dennis, Lonnie. So I think it'll be based on like matchups and stuff like that. Now, look, if Russ is killing it, he's going to play regardless. But I think a lot of the other guys, are really going to be, by matchup stuff like that. I think also we're going to, I mean, so like Dennis, he'll be the backup point guard to Westbrook, but like Nunn, Lonnie, Patrick Beverly, those guys are going to play the 2 and the 3. So even if Russ is killing it and he's playing so good you can't take him out the game, they'll still get run at other positions. And Kendrick Nunn's going to be our 2 guard. He's the best shooter on the team, and he's shown that, proved that so far in the preseason and all that stuff. So yeah, realistic predictions for the Lakers this season: number of wins, seed, and round. So I think the Lakers, and I've said this before, I think the Lakers get somewhere between like 50 to 55 wins, which would put us, somewhere in like the 4 to 6 range. Also, I don't think the Lakers are going to care too much about seeding. I think they're just going to care about like, let's be healthy and get into the playoffs. So I don't think they care if they're the 6th seed or the 5. Like if they have, like, let's say they have the 6th seed locked up, and they're like a game or 2 away from like the 4 seed, I don't think they're going to try to push to try to go get that 4 seed. I really don't. I think they'll be like, hey, look, we're the 6th seed. We're in the playoffs. We got, say there's 3 games left. It's like, if we win all 3 games, yeah, we could end up the 4 seed, but we're too far ahead for the 7th seed. We're not going to be in the play-in. Let's just rest our guys and get ready for the playoffs. Because I don't think the Lakers are worried about any matchups. And most of these teams you're going to have to go through anyway to get to the finals. So better to be as rested as possible and just have that be a thing. Russ being Russ is turnovers, bad shots. less screens, and no defense. Play the Blues round role, please. Look, you got to let Russ off the leash from time to time. It's not going to be 40 minutes a game, when he's in the scope of things. But Russ has a benefit of being Russ. He's proven that. He's still has that in him, and him going up against bench units, just going wild. Like, good luck. You live with the good. You live with the good and the bad. But when he's playing within the scope of like the starters and stuff with LeBron, Davis, stuff like that, that's when things change. But I believe Darvin Ham, and I mean, we've already seen it in preseason. Darvin Ham throwing all the young guys in with Russ, and you just run and gun. Russ gets the ball and just go. Just make it happen. And there's real value in that. Also, JoJo, because I forgot to say the round. I think that, you give me a healthy LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both playing at their level that we know that they can play, and Russ is working, I like our odds against anybody. Anything. I mean, if we made it to the finals, I wouldn't be shocked. I know some people feel otherwise, but hey, look, the Dallas Mavericks were just in the Western Conference Finals, right? Atlanta made it to the Western Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals. You get a couple things to go your way. LeBron, it's like, hey, this might be my last chance. And, we're playing, say, the Warriors in the Western Finals. You might see AD's always had monstrous games against the Warriors, so he's going to show up. LeBron is LeBron against the Warriors. I like our chances. And Russ, if he gets that close, he's going to want to do whatever it takes to get that done. If we make it to the Western Conference Finals, I think we make it to the finals. I really do. I think we either make it to the finals or we lose in the first or second round, would be my guess. I mean, none of these guys are going to be on the roster except for Christie. And Christie is not hot garbage. There's more to the game of basketball than just scoring. Christie is great defensively. What else? Explain the differences. Did you watch the games last season and watch the games this season? They're night and day. I mean, just Russ alone is night and day. Like, all you got to do is watch. If you haven't watched, go watch some of the games from preseason last season and look at the games this season. And you tell me if there's no difference. Who's the X factor on this team? I really believe it's Kendrick Nunn. I think Kendrick Nunn is the main factor. I think he has the potential to really win us some games that we may not have won otherwise. I think you can make an argument of him being the fourth best guy on I think outside of the big three, I think he's the best player on the team. I think he's proven that he's that guy. He's our best shooter. I've said it before, and I'm not comparing them as far as like levels, but a lot of the stuff that we would have gotten from Kyrie Irving, Kendrick Nunn is going to provide. Now, Kyrie Irving's just a superstar scale, right? Kyrie Irving's a guy that can completely take over games, can completely single-handedly win you games. He's just on another level. But Kendrick Nunn is a Kyrie light in the sense of like what he would have provided next to LeBron and AD, which is a guy that could play on the ball, could play off the ball, could slash, create his own shot, get to the basket, finish with the left, finish with the right, stuff like that. That's what you get with Kendrick Nunn. Again, not comparing them as far as like just overall talent. I'm saying like what both players provide are very similar. I called the Timberwolves winning by 15, and voila. I mean, as soon as you saw that the Lakers didn't have anybody play today except for the rookies, that would have been a good bet. Yeah, exactly. They beat the South Bay Lakers. Relax. Yeah, exactly. Lakers in denial. They don't have enough firepower. So this is clearly so congratulations. Hey, we got the casual of the day. We were doing pretty good up to this point. We finally got the first casual that didn't actually watch the game or actually look who played. They just saw the final score. Went, oh, see, Lakers suck. That's great. Congratulations, Davey. Man, what an accomplishment. What else? Are you going live tomorrow? I try to go live as much as possible. No complete guarantees because tomorrow I do have the Lakers show that I do with a buddy of mine over on the Lakers show channel. If you go, I believe it's in the description of this video. Let me double check. If it's not, I should put a description, or I should put it in the description because it's that way you guys can subscribe. But I basically got a podcast with a buddy of mine that we just started, and um, basically talk Lakers and stuff like that. And it's an old channel that I had that I converted and rebranded because I wasn't doing anything with the channel. So I was like, oh, why not turn it into another Lakers channel and just do a podcast with a buddy of mine because he wanted to do one. So I was like, sure. So here, let me put a link in the description because I don't have one. I thought I set that up, but apparently I did it. And then, yeah, if you want, go subscribe every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I do the live stream with him, and then he also posts clips on the on that channel of the live stream, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a good time as always. Always fun to do live streams and stuff. And then depending on how my day goes, besides that, then I'll try to do a stream over here. But I'm gonna try to do every post game. Every post game, I'll try to do a live stream, stuff like that. But yeah, here, sorry, give me 1 second. Just try to get the link in for everybody because I would. And subscribe here. What are we at? We're at 46. We're at 4653. Can I get 7 more subscribers? Can we get to 4660? That would be amazing. So subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. That would be fantastic. All right, and now officially, there we go. Now officially, the links to the Lakers show is in the description of this video. Go subscribe to the Lakers show. Subscribe to my mother channel, As It Stands, which was the first channel that I created. That basically was the cause of this channel. Subscribe to those 2 channels, and then also subscribe here. Can I get 7 more subscribers? That'd be amazing. There's 83 of you. I know there's 7 of you that aren't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. What else? I think they could win 48 games. I mean, look, it's very likely. I think if everyone's healthy, everything's looking good. I think they win 40. I think they win at least 50 to 55 games. Don't be big mad. Remember that. I'm not saying they absolutely will. I make no guarantees, but don't be shocked. A lot of people are writing this team off. You got to keep in mind, there's 4 teams in the West that the Lakers are going to play. So that's 16 games right there that they purposely want to lose. So there's 16 free wins right there. And the Lakers won 33 games last year. So say they make at least that. There's 50. There's 50 games. The Lakers can't win 5 more games. Like 55 wins is not out of the realm of possibility. Like if you're this team this year is at least 5 wins better than last season. And you have 4 teams in the West and several teams in the East that are all going to take for Victor and Scooter. And all of those teams should be easy wins. Those are all games that we should walk in. So right there, so very likely we could get to 50 wins just on that alone. J Huff looked terrible, but had decent numbers. Yeah, look, I've said J Huff, Swider, guys like that, they're not ready. They're not NBA ready. They're great. I love them. I think that they have a ton of potential on this team, but they're just not ready. That's why Russ should run the bench. I think he plays a lot with the bench. I really do. I think he runs a lot with the bench. We go in 82-0. I would love that. Sorry, trying to find comment me. Nobody could take your comments seriously when you said based on your other comments about the Wolves and Laker game. I can't take somebody seriously that didn't watch a game and left a comment like the one you made earlier. Lakers are vastly better than last year. Exactly. They're faster, hungrier, play better defense, and even better offensively. All of you who are worried you haven't seen our top 8 guys play together yet. Exactly. And look, the season hasn't even happened yet. The season isn't even happening yet. None reminds me of Nick Van Exel. That's not a bad comparison at all. He said, how am I a casual? I literally predicted my Timberwolves winning by 15. A guy that has never seen a game of basketball ever. If you just told them, hey, the Lakers' top 6 guys are not playing today, they could have predicted that. Like, that's your argument? God. There is a podcast channel now. It's it's AIS for as it stands. AIS, the Lakers show. Go subscribe. Again, link in the description. It's also like if you go to the homepage of this channel, you'll see my As It Stands, which is my main, which was the mother channel. It was the first channel I started that made me go, hey, I should make a Lakers channel. That's how this channel was created. And then, like I said, I had another channel that just was kind of sitting in purgatory that was monetized. And I was like, I should do something with this because it's monetized. And one of my buddies was like, hey, I'll do a Laker podcast with you. So I was like, sure, why not? So I rebranded that. So like that channel has like 2,500 subscribers or something like that, 2,600 subscribers. But in reality, it probably has like 100. So, it's going to be a grind. We're starting over. But at least it's monetized. So better to make some money than no money, right? But it's nothing. It's like cents at this point currently. But yeah, go subscribe to that. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe here. Subscribe to this channel. I would love to get to, can we get 7 more subscribers? There's 70 people in the stream. Can I get to 46, 60? That would be amazing. Davey J, ain't no way you're that much of a casual. Like, exactly. It's hilarious. Regardless, it's going to take time for the Lakers to gel. But once they do, they are going to surprise a lot of people. I agree, 100%. I think they are going to be fantastic. I really do. I really like this team. I really like what we have in store with this team. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at Davey's comments. There really are people this like. He's got to be trolling. There is no way. He's got to be trolling. He has to be. There's no way that this guy is this much of a goober. He's got to be trolling. Timberwolves are one of the worst franchises, not even in NBA history, but sports history. So it's not shocking he's celebrating a preseason win against South Bay. Yeah, facts. He's got to be trolling. There is no way. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of goober people in the world. It's YouTube. I got to be careful. Otherwise, they get upset. But if I say what I really want to say. But yeah, there's a lot of goober people in the world. But this guy might take the cake. Davey might deserve like a goober trophy or something. Go put your helmet on, Davey. Watch highlights. Exactly. If the Lakers disappoint again this year, what should the direction team rebuild or trade? I think you got to at least take a shot again. I mean, you got LeBron. I think if it doesn't work out, then you try to figure out. Hopefully, you can get a free agent or two because next free agency there's not really any like stars, but you could get a couple like rotation guys, like real good guys. Like you could get like a Bogdanovich. Maybe you could get like a Miles Turner or something like that. Get 2 or 3 guys to kind of put around AD and LeBron, and maybe you'll be better. Just depends. What a boy. What's up? Look, I appreciate you. Thanks for your content. Keep up the great work, man. Thanks so much, James. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. I appreciate all of you so very much for hanging out with me, spending this time. Kendrick Nunn is going to go off this season, definitely at Weapon X. I agree. I could not agree more. I'm glad he looks good because I have hyped him up so insanely much that like if he would have been terrible, I would have had to like listen to people like, see, look, da, 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 da. I'm so happy that this was right. What else? You saw the way the T-Wolves was celebrating that they play and win last year. Not surprised they celebrate preseason wins like the count. Exactly. See you, Tyler, in the chat. It's late. I'm about to head out. Be safe. Yeah, likewise too. I'm at the end of the stream. But again, subscribe to the channel. I need 6 subscribers, and I'm at 4660. I would really appreciate you if you take the time to subscribe to the channel. There's 68 of you in this stream. That would be awesome. But I'm gonna start wrapping up this stream. I will get the the post game video that I usually post. I'll get that up. I'll go record that, get that up in the next hour or so. So check out that video. Also, don't miss the Lakers show live stream tomorrow. Really would like to grow that channel also. So if you're subscribed here, subscribe over there. Again, link in the description. Also subscribe to As It Stands, where I talk all other teams, not just the Lakers. So if you like my breakdowns, analysis, just discussions on the Lakers, and you want to hear me talk about other teams, go check out those other teams. I really appreciate it. Really trying to grow the brand, really trying to grow the channel, all of that stuff. So please subscribe to those things. Subscribe here. Help me reach my goal. I appreciate y'all so very much. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much for helping me out. I really do appreciate that. You guys are all awesome. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.